Coming out of the blue corner from Studio 540 and Paragon, please welcome Lucas Brown.
Javier Showtime Vasquez takes on Lucas Brown. Javi returns to EBI for the first time since EBI 3, where he took the tournament on just hours' notice. A day's notice doesn't even adequately describe how little time he had to prepare. He literally got the call and started heading down to the Orpheum. So we'll see where Javi Vasquez stacks with these lightweights with a bit of a training camp.
This is an interesting match. Javi is just that old school pressure. He is my dark horse pick, guys.
Javi Vasquez at one time in the world of mixed martial arts found himself in the top 5 of lightweights and never really got that call in time to really shine in the UFC. You know, during that era when he was ranked in that top 5, the number 1 fighter was Jens Pulver. He actually went on to defeat Jens Pulver in 2010 when they met. But Javi Vasquez in the MMA world, nearly as good as it gets at one time, and now we see him on top here of Lucas Brown. You know, Lucas Brown here, Scott, easily the underdog against Javi Vasquez, but a fighter can use that as motivation. Not a lot of people expect him to punch his ticket to the second round where he would meet Gary Tone, and he can use that and really be aggressive. He has nothing to lose.
Absolutely. A lot of times when you are the underdog, there's no pressure on you. And that means you can relax and work your game more effectively.
Javi Vasquez looking for a leg attack there, but Brown wisely escaped, and now we're back on the feet.
But then again, whenever we talk about an underdog on the stage tonight, I mean, everybody here has the potential.
I mean, it is the Invitational. If you got a invitation here from Eddie Bravo and Victor Davila, it's because you're one of the best in the area, or the best in the world. We'll see some people from international parts here as well, Nick. So, I mean, everybody in this field vying for the $20,000, more than competent, more than qualified to be in this tournament.
Yeah, no two ways about it. What's great is it's a hybrid of super fight and tournament, because every one of these guys was selected and invited, and there is no downtime here, as we can see.
See these guys hand fighting here on the feet. Lucas Brown looked like he was going to maybe shoot a double leg there, but didn't commit to it. Now he just goes to his back. Javi Vasquez wisely gets his side and immediately into mounts. This is not a fun place for Lucas Brown. If you talk to anybody that has rolled with Javi Vasquez, he's incredibly heavy on top.
Yeah, and this is where he wants to be. This is his wheelhouse right here. So
you mentioned that pressure. I mean, it all starts from this mount here from Javi Vasquez.
Yeah, would not want to be there right now.
Again, TJ DeSantis, Nick the Tooth, Scott Ross here, Matt's side at the Orpheum Theater, downtown Los Angeles. EBI 5 got the lightweights going tonight. EBI 6 around the corner. Some news coming up on that a little bit later in the evening. Stuff you will not want to miss coming from the Eddie Bravo Invitational.
Looks like he's trying to get his forearm underneath the hip line so he can push him, keep some space so he can execute an escape.
We're 3 minutes into this, Scott. You know, this has got to be wearing on Lucas Brown to be on bottom here. We mentioned the pressure that Javi Vasquez brings. It's a 10-minute round. You know, that can seem like an eternity when you're on bottom, though.
It can, but actually, ironically, because Javi Vasquez talked about this in the promo videos, you know, when you're stuck on bottom, just accept you're stuck. That way you can conserve your energy. Wait until there's some space to move and then explode.
Yeah, that's what Lucas is doing right now.
Javi Vasquez
there
married.
He is, going for like a hip bump, trying to push those hips up. It's all about the hip control. If you can lift those hips up, then he has space for his own hips to move around.
Just mentioning Javi Vasquez married to Rose Gracie. Rose, sort of the curator of the Gracie tournament circuit. They're another submission-only grappling tournament. The movement alive and strong here. And Javi Vasquez and his wife, big proponents of submission-only grappling.
You see the way Javi keeps digging his fingers in towards the neck. He's trying to.
He might have. He's got to worry about giving the back as he starts to escape, because that's what Javi's looking for.
Yeah, he's trying to open him up, making a move, his defensive position.
And Javi's not going to let those hips get in. There he goes.
Credit to Lucas Brown making Javi move.
Nice.
Now he makes him actually give up the mount. Credit to Lucas Brown hanging tough here with a very, very savvy veteran in Javi Vasquez.
And Javi with the knee slice and back up.
I love this crowd giving applause for transitions.
Definitely a well-educated crowd filing here into the Orpheum. You know, Javi Vasquez spent a lot of his career at 155 in mixed martial arts. He moved down to 145. Tonight competes at a lightweight here at EBI. And, you know, I think this is really where he needs to be if he wants to do the submission grappling game. Running out of real estate there. They'll reset back in the center of the mat.
Halfway through the match.
Tying up back on the feet here. We really have yet to see Lucas Brown try to force a position where he gets on top of Javi. And I know that's easier said than done, but we'll see if he tries to instigate a scramble that might result in him on top.
Oh. They both look to be going for that guillotine.
Yes, they are. Fishing for necks.
Always a good time.
Vasquez with a right underhook here, pushing Brown to the side. Man, these guys are using every inch of this mat. It's funny, you see a lot of EBI matches sort of take place on the ground rather quickly. These guys are making it a wrestling match, not giving up a lot of position here. Now Javi Vasquez looks to pass the guard.
Yeah, inlay drag, about to, he's still, again, old school fishing for that back. Look at that.
Yeah, he's trying to dig his foot in so he can keep it locked in for when he does take that back.
We already saw Gary Tonin advance to the second round. We'll see him a little bit later. The winner of this match will meet Gary. Should that be Javi Vasquez, that will actually be a rematch from the Gracie U.S. Nationals, a super fight that took place almost a year ago, back in January or February of 2015. So Javi might be thinking about that a little bit, but before he gets there, he's got to try to finish on Lucas Brown. Hugging the head here. Brown, what's he doing, Nick? Yeah, he missed it.
Yeah, butterfly. Trying to set something up.
Now we'll see Lucas Brown get on top. We talked about it. He hasn't been in this position quite yet. Javi immediately gets out from bottom.
Which, and you mentioned this earlier, typically in the previous EBIs, the game's pretty much stayed on the ground. Got on the ground and stayed on the ground for the most part. But these two are both very happy to get back up and fight for that position.
While this wrestling match ensues, we should talk about a new rule that has been implemented. There are penalties now. If a fighter...
Nice duck under. What a duck under by Javier.
Looked like Javi was maybe trying to frame up an arm triangle.
Yes.
I can't see from our angle if he's still working on it. Does look like he has that right arm isolated.
Yeah, he's in that late
Lucas
week
Brown.
right now. It'll be interesting. Yeah, he can still...
Yeah,
he's in position for that arm triangle.
He's
now
gonna
he
have
needs...
to step over to the other side.
Yeah, he needs to get to the right side of Lucas Brown's body if he wants to really sort of cinch this thing up. He's got 2.5 minutes to get something done in regulation. Lucas Brown trying to move. Almost gave him his back. Nice stuff by Lucas Brown. Very
really
defensive. And, you know, going this far with Javi Vasquez.
Nice.
Very nice. Now he's on top. Now he can make something happen in the final 2 minutes.
Although, actually, Javier is so good in side control. Oh, he's so good.
Javier told me last time that that one of his favorite positions is bottom side control.
Yeah, he makes stuff happen.
That
He
sounds
really
counterintuitive to a
right?
fighter.
It does.
Although, actually, it's a pretty good strategy. It's more energy conservative. Like, instead of chasing a guy around, you let him come to you.
Right.
And if you have a lot of confidence in your ability to flip it around.
Javi trying to force a scramble. Now he's getting back on top. Attempting to...
Oh, there he is on the back. Amazing transition. Javier Vasquez.
He's got both hooks in. He needs to get his over-under.
Taking his time here. 90 seconds to work if he wants to end this in regulation. Don't forget that $20,000 prize on the line. You will only get all of that if you submit every single one of your opponents and win the tournament. Should amend that. You only get that money if you submit your opponents in regulation.
Now we get a good view.
Javi might be fishing for an armbar. There it is, done! Just like that, Javi Vasquez punches his ticket to a rematch with Gary Tonin. My goodness, it happened.